Well, we're just about getting into hunting season, and we thought it'd be a good time to talk about, and we've talked about a lot about some of the bucks that we have going forward, but maybe expanding a little bit more because we're just getting into hunting season, and these are going to start turning into hard antler, hard horn pretty soon. And so we have some different strategies for each buck, and there's special things. And stay tuned to the end because we have a new buck to introduce to you, and he's something special.
Yes.
So, you know, like going forward, the first buck, we have a few named bucks, and we'll talk a little bit about them, but we're really excited. And the cool thing is, Dylan behind the camera right now is going to lay down a bunch of footage of all these bucks we've been collecting all summer. It's been a fun summer. We closed on the land June 5th. We've been doing a lot of work, and we have a history of some of these bucks even going back in the past. So going forward, the first buck that we're going to talk about, what would be that buck, Diane?
Negan.
And why is Negan special?
Because he has my split brows.
So what does that mean? Did you kind of lay claim to him?
I did. I tried.
Yeah, you try. So that means you're going to shoot him, right?
If he comes by, yeah, of course.
Negan's a pretty cool one. He's one that we believe is 6 years old, and the landowner, previous landowner, actually has pictures of him from 2 years ago, and so pretty cool to have that shot. And he disappeared last year, so he's around right now. He's one of those bucks we're trying to keep around with cool season food, but we hung a stand up for him the other day, and so Diane has laid claim on him. He's a 6-year-old buck. She shot a 6-year-old last year to the split brow, so maybe that'll repeat itself, but I have to be honest, I'm going to try for him too. And we did hang a tree stand up for him, just for him. And I don't think I told you where that tree stand was yet, did I?
Just so you know, you were after split brow last year too. And
that's a good point. So the problem is you don't have enough tags for the deer that you're after this year. So it's you can't lay claim to all of them unless you're claiming them a year in advance. But so Negan's a pretty cool one. He's back in the corner of the plot. What's neat about him is he seems to travel on the exact same trail in or out of that plot. And so we have a tree stand right there. I'm just not going to tell you how to get to that tree stand or how to get into it. But anyways, that'd be awesome if Diane shot him. But he's a really cool buck. Wide. He's got split brow tines, but he's actually got 5 points down there. Down his base is extremely wide, long beams, just a huge buck. And we believe a bona fide 6-year-old. If you look at his picture from 2 years ago, he looked definitely 4 at that time. So he's at the youngest 5 right now. So that's a cool one. And then the one with webs.
Kermit.
Yeah, Kermit. So Kermit he's pretty cool. We sat around, I think you and Dylan came up with that name more than anything, didn't you?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we did.
It just made sense. Yeah. Dylan helps us a lot. That was down in the basement at our old house in Coon Valley, and that was about a 15-minute discussion we should have had on film, but it boiled down to Kermit the Frog because he was webbed, and then he's by the hermit. That's a guy that lives in a trailer on the adjoining property that used to be on this property, and that's why we have a hermit plot. So all this came together, and Kermit's just a big buck. The last one we have was that video of him hitting the mock scrape over there where he walks in. I put that on Instagram a few days ago, and he is just a giant buck. And that one, you know, Negan we're not sure of. That stand and the stands around there are more rut stands. We'll have a setup for him that we can hunt in the early season. But Kermit's definitely, if he sticks around in these patterns, he's going to be an early season buck. And so now there's that last buck we're going to talk about coming up here pretty soon. That'll be a special buck we'll try to get you on. But Kermit might be one of those early season ones that you get a crack at too. So, and then Dante, our son, he's actually going to be filming this year a little bit in the tree. So maybe he'll film his mom shooting Kermit or the other buck. Would that be fun?
Yes.
So be honest, would you be more nervous with Dante in the tree next to you or me?
Hands down to you.
Do you even enjoy sitting in the tree with me filming at all?
Honest? Honest?
Like honestly, yeah. Tell everyone. Would you rather hunt by yourself or with me?
I'm so stressed out with you.
How could that be stressful?
Because you're like this professional.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just...
What about Dylan? Would you be stressed out with Dylan?
No.
See?
No.
But Dylan's a professional. Yeah, Dylan will come film you then. Dylan has filmed you before, I think.
I love you, babe, but...
Yeah. So Kermit's one that we can look at with early season, he's passed several stands in a row, and there are a lot of those stands that we could actually hit in the morning after the deer leave the field. We can sneak into a stand off of a food plot, not on a food plot, and get into position for him, and hopefully he comes by right at, within the first hour or two of daybreak, and that's where we've been seeing him move. He's a really beautiful buck. I think he was with that bachelor group of bucks the other day. But I know one buck that's kind of in the same boat as Kermit in the same location is Eileen. Now, what do you think about that name?
Why would you name it Eileen? To me, that's a girl's name.
I know, and Dylan I think he made fun of me. I can't remember which other one we were going to name a girl. Oh, Negan. I was going to call him Lucille after Negan's bat on The Walking Dead, and Dylan said, that's a girl's name, but what's it really matter? Eileen's not bad, but I call him Eileen because he's got a huge 8-9 inch tine on his left beam towards the inside, out towards the tip. It's an extra tine, and so I look at him like that's got to be some weight to make him lean. So Eileen, not necessarily a woman's name, but Eileen, like Eileen.
I understand that.
Eileen, you get it? You get it? See, these names we come up with, they're really, in depth, right?
For the record, you picked that name.
Yeah. So what about the next one you picked the name for? Because you saw him on a certain date.
7-4.
Like Dylan said, you mean he didn't have 7 points on one side and 4? And we've had pictures of him since the beginning, 7-4. And we've had him pictures all the way across the property. And we find that he's staying over on a neighbor's property more right now at this time. And he's kind of slanted over towards that side. 7-4 was the first date that you saw him. And we use a video a lot from 7-3, the video that you saw. Yeah. But you first looked at that on 7-4. So that's his name, 7-4. See how we pick these? It's really in detail and in depth with these. But 7-4 is one that I believe is really a rut cruising buck. He's not on the property yet. Maybe he'll move over. He's been all over the property, which is cool because a lot of the trail cameras we're sticking are in locations we expect that we can actually kill bucks from. They're not just on mineral licks or water holes where we're getting good summer footage, but actually places where we think we can hunt. So that's a good thing. 7-4 might be really one of those cruisers that comes through. Maybe he'll come over during the whitetail shift in September and we can hunt him. And Dylan, can you think of any others we should go over besides the last one?
You do have Lazy Boy.
Lazy Boy's, yeah, we haven't seen him for a while. Lazy Boy, simply he was leaning back. Thought about calling him lazy, but he is. He's like his antlers are in a reclined position. They kind of tilt back. His brow tines too. We had pictures of him early. June on a cell cam picture. We've had some video of him. And he's been in the same area as Kermit, Eileen, Lazy Boy's over there, and we have a couple other good ones we haven't named over there. One of them is a 10-point that hangs out with Kermit. They're buddies. We see them quite often together. That buck, that 10-point, was with Eileen the other day in a bachelor group of bucks. I believe he was in there. We get some really good videos and pictures of him. Maybe can you think of a name for him real quick? Remember what I'm talking about? He's a 10-point. He's got little tips out towards the front. And he hangs out with Kermit all the time.
No, I'll think about it.
What about something like, Dylan, what do you think? Like, just call him Buddy.
To me, he's really symmetrical, right? Like,
yeah.
He's just perfect. So I'd call him like straight A or something like that. Like
straight A?
4.0, he's
4.0?
He's perfect.
What do you think?
4.0.
4.0.
Yeah.
All right.
See, it's usually Diane and Dylan picking the bucks, believe it or not, the names. So we'll call him 4.0. So 4.0.
Now too.
He's in that same location too, over that way, and it seems like he's a little bit more separate. We get him a lot on cell camera by himself too, but he came in with Kermit on the new scrape that Chris B and I put out with Kermit. So that was kind of cool, that nighttime video. But last but not least, we have a new one we'll introduce you to, and I was kind of hesitant to even talk about this buck but I want to share what we're going through and what we see on the farm. And we're not too concerned about trespassers around here. We aggressively go after them and find them and pursue them, and people have no idea. But anyways, this buck is a special buck. We think he's only 3 years old. He was a 14-point last year, 7x7, and one that we originally thought was Negan in the young days, but Negan's definitely a different buck, and this one is special. And Dylan and I talked about this name. I thought about calling him 20, like as in 20, and Dylan wanted to get all fancy.
It's Italian.
It's
And I'm Italian.
It's Italian, and Diane's Italian. So again, they're picking names, not me. But so Venti, and we called him Venti because we thought he had 20 points, but we were wrong. He has 21. 21 scoreable points. We think he's 3.5 years old. He's the biggest, youngest buck I've ever seen in my life. And I'm sure if he gets to an older age, he's going to be, he's probably 150, 160 right now. We think he's only 3, but I'd love to see him get to 4 at least. And he'd probably be 200 plus in that case. I know some of the neighbors around here would pass him, some of them wouldn't. So you never know about a buck like that, but that's a buck that I really want to try to get Diane on early if she, because I know that I can never ask her to not shoot
I know,
a buck
but
like
now
that.
I know I can't.
No, I said you can shoot him. You're the one person that can shoot him
I'm not
out of
gonna
everybody.
I don't think I would shoot him.
So he comes through, he's 21 points, and he's 155, 60 inches, and you've never shot a buck with your bow, and you're not going to shoot him?
Probably not.
What do you think of that, Dylan?
I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I want to wait and see what he is next year. There's so many other bucks I can shoot.
I think it's pretty cool that she's even willing to pass a deer like that for the potential.
Well, and there's a good chance I would miss him.
I've been watching you shoot. You've been shooting well.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
You've been working hard. So, but yeah, that's our bucks right now. Venti is one that's around right now. He's around often. We've had him on a couple different trail cameras. We have setups for him. And so we'll just see what happens, but he's one that we could see early. If nothing else, I really want to get some really good tree stand footage of him so we can get up close and personal. And if Diane shot him, that would not bother me one bit, but he's off limits to everyone else as that age of buck. And just with the hunters we have that have all shot a bunch of bucks before, they don't necessarily need to shoot him. But that one would be, I wouldn't be surprised. You see him?
I don't think I would shoot him.
Well, either way.
I tried to film him with my Tacticam.
Yeah, that would be a good idea too. No, we're all learning. This is a fun journey, and I hope you get Venti. That would be kind of cool if you shot him. We see him up close and personal, but if he makes it through, that's fine too. I would suspect there'd be another buck that would go by you'd shoot before Venti, because you'd see another buck before that time. A lot. You'd probably shoot a nice 3-year-old.
Yeah.
8 or 10 points. So.
Yeah. Because this is my first year we'll be shooting with a bow.
Yeah, vertical bow. She's on with a crossbow in the past, so she's been working hard on that and shooting her Matthews. So that'll be.
And I get nervous when they come in.
Yeah. So those are our bucks we have this year. It's been fun naming them, been fun watching them, and we're not the type, if the neighbors shoot one that we were after, we don't really care. I mean, there's enough bucks to go around. There's some good people around here that are passing bucks and hoping for older ones. And hey, if a neighbor shoots Venti, that's what we're calling them. I'm curious what they're going to call them, but everyone has names for these bucks. But I'm just hoping we get to go see him in person and see what he looks like up close, because he's really cool for a young buck and for an old buck, young buck, whatever he is. And if the neighbors shoot little bucks, I really don't care. It's all about having fun and celebration of the hunt. And if Diane shoots a 2-year-old buck this year, 5-year-old, really doesn't matter. We're going to have fun, whatever his name is, if he's an unnamed buck. But I'm hoping you shoot one of the named ones. So quick, out of all those, which one do you want to shoot?
Negan.
Negan. We're back to number 1, Negan. So that's her number 1 buck.
Yeah.
And
my target buck.
And I might even end up telling you where that tree stand is that he walks by all the time and how to get into it.
But then 7.4 is my second.
7.4 is the second?
Yeah.
So hopefully someone will be filming you. If you shoot one of those bucks, probably not me.
No.
So hope you enjoyed this segment and you guys have some great bucks that you're looking after. It's all relative. We're in a good area of Minnesota right now, and we have some good bucks, and we have the property, the size that allows us to see a lot right now. And I'll still hunt public land in Pennsylvania this year. Looking forward to hunting public land in Pennsylvania. It'll be with the Hunting Public in mid-October, their Hunting Public Challenge. I'm thinking I'm allowed to say it's in Pennsylvania, but I hope so. But then I'll be hunting public land in Michigan too this year again, and maybe somewhere else too. I think we're going to be hunting private land in Kentucky, lease land we own, public land. I'll hunt it all. I really don't care. Of course, we're not looking for these big bucks on public land in Pennsylvania or Michigan the same size, but if they happen to walk by, that'd be great. So hope you guys have a great fall. We're just into it where these deer are going to turn hard antler, hard horn. I say hard horn. Someone made fun of me for that, but Yeah, they are antlers, but hardhorn's a common phrase used for when they're turning from velvet, and that's going to be happening very soon here in just the next couple weeks. We'll see our first rubs and natural scrapes. We can't wait, and enjoy the hunt, and enjoy these names, enjoy these bucks that we're going after, and we'll keep you tuned and keep you posted. Right, babe?
Right.
Well, if you made it to the end of this video, you're obviously interested in Whitetail Habitat Solutions, what I have to teach, and you will love my new web class series. The first one is how to design your whitetail property. It's out now. The link is in the description. I invite you to check it out. It's on my website. Can't wait to hear about it.